everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a swatch and review plus dupes for the KL Polish Havana Heat collection. I'm also going to be doing something very special this video, so stay tuned to the end of the video if you want more information on that. So I have the Havana Heat collection today. Now the reason I typically do dupes for these videos, I don't necessarily call them dupes, I really like calling them color comparisons. KL Polish typically releases cream polishes, and if you are a nail polish lover and you have a lot of mainstream polishes, you may have some of these colors already in your collection. KL Polish is a little bit on the expensive side. I want to say each bottle runs for about $8.50, and if you already have that color in your collection, maybe that color might not be worth picking up for you guys. Sometimes I do find indie polish dupes, but for the most part it's mainstream polishes, or I like to compare to very popular colors that a lot of people may already have in their collection. So even though it's not a dupe, I'll still compare it just so you guys can see the color difference if it's close or completely different. I picked up the box set. It's always cheaper to pick up the box set. You do save a little bit of money. And one thing I will say, and I think I've said this in a few other videos, the shipping for me is extremely fast. So I live in Maryland. Every time I pick this up, I normally pick it up when it launches. This gets to me in 2 days. I think the longest I've ever waited for this is like 3 days. Let's go ahead and get started with the collection. I have my little color wheel here to show you guys dupes. I'm gonna go in order of the box set. So I'm gonna start off with this pink polish here. This is in the color Celia. It's a beautiful hot pink polish. It is a cream finish. I don't think you need a white base to make the color very vibrant with this polish. It is fully opaque on me in just 2 coat. I really do like the formula of this. Actually, on the first coat it was pretty opaque, but I did end up needing a second coat to kind of deepen up the color and make sure I covered up any kind of like patchy areas. But 2 coats, fully opaque. I really love the formula of that polish. But this one was the one that I found the most color comparisons to. I tried to only include the ones that were the closest or had a very similar undertone and were only slightly darker or slightly lighter, because I have a lot of hot pinks in my collection. For instance, I have like 10 different Zoya hot pinks, and they all had slightly different undertones. So they had a little more red, a little more orange, a little more purple. So I didn't include any of the Zoya ones. But I have 4 dupes for you guys. This first polish right here is the KL polish. So this is 2 coats of the KL polish. This one right here is from Hansen Insta-Dri. This is in the color Razzmatazz. It was part of the Crayola collection. And this last one right here is from Butter London, and it's in Cake Hole. So the reason I only have 2 swatches is because the first dupe that I found, and I think this really is a dupe because I feel like it's the exact same color, takes the exact same number of coats to get fully opaque. I don't really see a difference between the polishes. This one was again from Crayola and Hansen, the Insta-Dri formula in the color Razzmatazz, but I know some of these were a little bit more difficult to get. I still haven't picked up the full collection. I have a few polishes that I'm missing. I am including this one. This is also from Hansen Insta-Dri line, and this is called Sonic Bloom number 260. These are the exact same color. So if you don't have Razzmatazz but you already have Sonic Bloom in your collection, then I would skip out on the KL polish because honestly they have the same formula. Both of them are fully opaque in 2 coats. They're the exact same color, and Hansen is a lot cheaper. And then the other 2 that I have are also the exact same color. One is a little bit more difficult to find, and one is more readily available. So like I said, the first one was Butter London Cake Hole, but the other one is from OPI, and this is from the Hello Kitty collection. It's called Spoken from the Heart, and this collection was pretty popular, so some of you may already have this polish in your collection. This one was a little bit lighter than the KL polish, but they had the same undertone, so that's why I included that. I would call this more like a color comparison. So the next polish in the collection is called Tropicana, and this is a beautiful, beautiful yellow polish. So this is kind of like a canary yellow polish, but it has a little bit of like a brownie undertone. ever so slightly. I actually had a lot of trouble finding a yellow polish like this in my collection because most of the yellow polishes in my collection have a pretty intense like white base because they lean more towards the neon yellow. But honestly, I realized that I didn't have that many yellow polishes in my collection, and I love yellow polishes. So I'm really glad that KL Polish decided to release a yellow polish for this collection. So this one right here is the KL Polish one, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but it definitely has more of like a brownie, like mustardy base. It's a lot deeper. This one right here is from OPI, the one in the middle, and this is also from the Hello Kitty collection, and it's called My Twin Mimmy. So this one doesn't have as much of a white base as most of the yellows in my collection. And then the last one over here, this one is from Zoya, and this one is a classic Zoya polish in the color Pippa. I believe that one was on a few people's top 10 Zoya polishes a few years ago, and that's the reason why I had picked it up. Like, the KL polish one, at first I thought it was okay with 2 coats, but then I decided when I was taking my swatch pictures to go back and do a 3rd coat because I could still see some like patchiness with the yellow polish. I was really hoping that because it had a little bit of a darker base that it would build up a lot nicer, but yellows are just notoriously difficult to get fully opaque in just like 1 or 2 coats. I really haven't found a yellow that I can get fully opaque in 1 coat. So the formula was pretty on par with most yellow polishes. So the next polish in the collection is actually very unique. I honestly could only find 1 dupe and 1 color comparison for it. And I even tried searching amongst my indie polishes because I for sure thought that I was going to get something similar to this in my indie polishes. This one is called Matanzas, and this is a beautiful blue polish with a whole bunch of iridescent blue shimmer in there, but it has a purple shift to it. It is really beautiful. It was a little tricky to work with because this one was a little bit more watery than the other polishes. This one took 3 coats to be fully opaque, and the only reason it took 3 coats, I believe, is because it has that like iridescent shimmer in there, and typically these types of shimmers take a bit to build up. So this was a little bit more of a sheer polish. The coats were very thin. They did dry pretty quickly, so I really had no problem building this up in 3 coats, but I love the end results of it. If you want what's in the bottle, you do have to do 3 coats. I did find an exact dupe for this though. So this one right here is the KL polish one, and then this one is in the center is the exact dupe that I found, and this one is from Zoya and it's in the color River. And then the last polish right here, this is my color comparison. This is part of the new China Glaze Shades of Paradise collection, and this one's called Mer-made for Bluer Waters. And the reason I included this was because it is part of the newer China Glaze collection, and I figured that a lot of people might have picked this up because it's such a different and unique formula than what China Glaze normally releases, and it honestly looks like a mermaid in the bottle, but it's not quite as deep or as dark or as shimmery as the KL polish, but it does have a very similar effect with that iridescent shimmer, and the shimmer is more intense in the KL polish. But like I said, I did manage to find an exact dupe for it in Zoya's River. Alrighty, so the next polish in the collection is called Cha Cha Cha, and this is a very pretty kind of pumpkin-y, terracotta-y, orangey color. I definitely say it leans a little bit more on that pumpkin color because it is a little brighter than most of the pumpkin colors that I have in my collection. For that reason, I actually was only able to find 1 dupe for it and 1 color comparison. So this one right here is from KL Polish. This is in the color Cha Cha Cha. This middle one is actually from OPI, and this one is Yank My Doodle. It was part of the OPI DC collection, and that one I would consider more of a color comparison. It's definitely part of the same color family and has the same undertone, but it's a little bit lighter than the KL polish. And then this last one is actually an indie polish. This is from Night Owl Lacquer, and it's called Don't Lose Your Head. The Night Owl Lacquer one is a little bit more sheer than the KL polish. It kind of has like a jelly type of finish, not as sheer as a jelly polish, but definitely has a little bit more of a jelly type finish. So this one takes takes 3 coats to get fully opaque versus the KL polish one only took 2 coats to get fully opaque. And the one from OPI, this one's a very popular collection, which is why I included it as a color comparison. This one is a beautiful formula also, fully opaque on me in just 2 coats. So I figured why not? I wanted to include that just in case you guys again had that color in your collection. So the next polish that I have to share with you guys is called Mojito, and this is the green polish in the collection. I don't know what to call this green. I'm always terrible at describing greens. I don't know if I should call it like a grass green or an army green. I think army green is too dark. Maybe a forest green? I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful color nonetheless. This was fully opaque on me in just 2 coats. I was not actually able to find an exact dupe for it, so I have 2 color comparisons to kind of show you guys. So again, this one right here is from KL Polish and Mojito. The center one is actually another one from Sally Hansen Insta-Dri collection, and this is called I Rush Look. And then this last one all the way at the end is a popular China glaze polish called 4-Leaf Clover. So I wanted to go ahead and show that one because 4-Leaf Clover is a pretty popular color. This is the least similar. This is a pretty like bright and neon-y type of polish. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from the color wheel. It definitely has a lot more of like a white base to it, but I wanted to include it again because it's a popular China glaze polish, and I know for sure a lot of people have that one in their collection because I bought that one because of a lot of people's like top China glaze polishes. And the other one, the Insta-Dri one, you know, this is a pretty affordable polish, and this is actually pretty close to the KL polish. It's just a smidgen lighter. Gorgeous formula. Both of these were fully opaque in 2 coats. Again, it's up to you whether or not you want to pick up the KL polish if you already have this one in your collection. Alrighty, and the last polish in the collection is called Cubana, and this is a gorgeous color. This is kind of somewhere in between like a terracotta and a coffee color. So it definitely has a lot more brown in it than the color Cha Cha Cha. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that on camera. This is Cubana and this is Cha Cha Cha. So Cubana definitely has a lot more brown in it. It has a lot more of that like reddy brown, like an adobe brick type of brown. So this is actually also difficult to dupe in my collection. I found 1 color comparison and 1 dupe. So this is the KL polish in Cubana. This is the color comparison, and this is actually from KL polish. This is in the color Brick Sidewalk, and then the last one is from Deborah Lippmann, and this is in the color Respect. Now I included the KL polish one because I think they're part of the same color family. It's very similar, definitely a lot closer than Cha Cha Cha. And if you guys are a KL polish fan, you may have already picked this polish up. I don't think you need both of these in your collection. I think if you have Brick Sidewalk, you may want to pass on Cubana. So the one from Deborah Lippmann is definitely more expensive. I want to say Deborah Lippmann polishes range between like $18 and $20. I actually picked this polish up off the Deborah Lippmann website a couple years ago actually for like 50% off. And these are pretty popular polishes. I know when I first started getting into nail polishes, Deborah Lippmann was all the rage. And honestly, it was the only dupe that I could find in my entire collection. Every other polish that I found had a little bit different undertone. It was way too bright or way too like dark. So that just goes to show you that this color is pretty unique, and it's definitely one of the ones that's worth picking up. It's a gorgeous color. So that's it. Those are all of the dupes and color comparisons. And now for the little something extra that I wanted to share with you guys. I actually picked up an entire set of these. So this right here is my set, and I picked up an entire second set to give away to you guys. I actually really liked this entire collection. I liked it so much that I decided to pick up a second set because I wanted to share this with you guys. I actually recently received my first YouTube paycheck, so I decided to reinvest it back into the channel and get something for you guys. Sharing is caring, right guys? So the way you're gonna enter this giveaway is there's gonna be a link down below in the description box for the Gleam app. Just click on the link and it's gonna take you to the Gleam website. You're gonna enter all your information and it's gonna direct you what you need to do in order to enter the giveaway. Basically, the first rule of the giveaway is you have to be a subscriber to this channel. There's gonna be additional entries like on Instagram and Twitter. Those are bonus entries, but you don't have to have an Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. You basically just have to be a subscriber to this channel in order to get your initial entry. The second rule is that you have to be at least 18 years old or have parental permission to enter, because I do have to ask for a mailing address. And then the third rule is that this is only going to be open to US residents. I currently don't do international giveaways. If you guys would like me to continue doing giveaways like this every single time I pick up a KL polish collection, leave me a comment down below, share this video, or give me a thumbs up. If this video reaches 1,000 views, then I will definitely do another giveaway like this next time there is a KL polish release. I promise you guys, I will do another giveaway like this. But give this video a thumbs up if you guys like giveaways or if you guys enjoyed this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I currently post 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on Sundays or every other Sunday, I like to post a weekly makeup basket. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.